Hi! Today we're going to be making the MIDI Commander act more like a conventional foot pedal by making each of these buttons correspond to an audio effect track within Ableton Live. So as a demonstration, this is what we're going to be building. If I press this button, it's going to bring me to chain 1. If I press another button, you can see that it brings me to another audio effect track. If I change the preset bank and then choose a button, it will also change to a different chain. The way it works is that it will take the current preset bank that you're on and add a certain number to it, and that will correspond to the number of the chain inside Ableton Live. So, what you're going to need for this setup is your MIDI Commander. It's Ableton Live and 2 Max4 Live devices that will be linked inside the description. We'll start with the setup of the MIDI Commander. The MIDI Commander can be booted into setup mode by pressing this button and turning it on at the same time. Once we're in setup mode, we will want to go to custom 1 and use the following settings. So first we're going to choose 1, 2, 3. Bank move, set it to 8 times because you have 8 buttons. Bank mode to immediate. And then we're going to set all of our key modes to CC and change the key CC numbers to 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, etc. So you should get 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. Once you've set that up, you can turn it off, press this button, and turn it on at the same time to load it into custom mode. You will know that you're in custom mode when this label up here says custom 1, CUS1. Alright, so once I have the MIDI Commander set up, I'm going to set up my live set. I'm going to open a new live set, delete a MIDI track and an audio track so that I have 1 MIDI track and 1 audio track. Inside the MIDI track, I'm going to load a MIDI monitor to make sure that my CC messages are being properly sent to the channel. If I go to flow over here and make sure that the channel is armed, then when I press these buttons, the corresponding CC messages, as I configured just now, should appear over here. So when I press this, I'll get 36. When I press this, I'll get 43. Once I've verified that the CC is being sent correctly into Ableton, I'm going to load the 2 MIDI devices into this track. So the first one is MIDI Commander to CC35, and the second one is Expression Control++ 0.3.1. You'll see that when I press the buttons on my MIDI Commander, it will change the output on CC35. What this device does is it takes the CC messages sent to different CC numbers from the MIDI Commander and turns it into different CC values on CC35. What that means is that I can unify all of these button presses into one channel and use that one channel input to change a certain parameter inside Ableton Live. Next, we're going to go to Expression Control++. We're going to change this input to CC35. And now when I press on these buttons, you'll notice that the output here changes. If I go to a higher preset bank and press this button, this is the highest button, 121 plus 7, then the output will increase to its maximum. If I go to the minimum, which is 1 plus 0, it will go to its minimum. Once that's set up, what we're going to do is we're going to create an audio effect rack here on the audio track. Effect. Inside audio effect rack, we're going to click this little button, which makes your chains visible, and click chain. Then we're going to create a chain. We're going to just call it hashtag chain. Hashtag will change it automatically to the chain number. We're going to duplicate that, and we're going to keep doing this until our entire chain is properly filled up. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to make 16 chains, but you can go ahead and make all 128 different chains. I'm going to color code it, so the last 8 chains I'm going to make them green. Wonderful. Now that we have an audio effect track with multiple chains, I'm going to take the output of the CC mapping over here, and I'm going to map it to the chain number by clicking on this bar up here. Now, you'll notice, when I press these buttons, it changes what chain is selected. Now, we're going to map some audio through this audio track. I'm just going to arm this track. I'm going to select my input. Now, when I play guitar into that input, it's going to go through the audio track. You'll notice that when I press different buttons, it'll send the audio through different audio tracks. So if I press this over here, I press 1 plus 6, it will go into chain number 7. If I press 1 plus 2, it will go into chain 3. If I change the preset bank and press 9 plus 5, that's going to bring me to chain 14. So that's how you swap chains. Basically everything has been set up at this point. All you need to do is to start building your own effects racks. How you're going to do that is you can select the chain and drag and drop audio effects into that chain just like you normally would inside an audio track. So let's say I want an amp. I'll bring in an amp, I'll bring in a cabinet, maybe I'll bring in a reverb as well. And that should create a very basic electric guitar sound. You'll see that these audio effects are all on chain 1. If I move to chain 2 by clicking on it, that will bring me to a new chain, and because this has no audio effects on it, it will be unaffected by the audio in chain 1. So that is the basics of how you can use the MIDI Commander to control what chain that you're using. So that's basically it. If you want to, you can also map the expression pedals into controls inside Ableton Live, but that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video. If you would like me to make a video on it, just leave a comment and then I'll probably get around to it. That should be all. Hope you enjoy playing with the setup, and bye bye.